Hey guys, welcome to Raw Customs. I'm your host, Patrick Apollo, and on this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make a Captain America shield out of sintra. Now, this just happens to be a scrap build, guys. I love using materials that I'll have just laying around to build projects. Number one, it's generally low cost or free. Other than that, it forces you to use your imagination and be inventive. So lucky for me, I just happened to have a sheet of sintra laying around to make the shield out of. I also had a belt that came with a pair of shorts. I was able to cut that up and use it for straps for the back of the shield. And since you're able to heat and form sintra, I was able to cut slots and actually raise it up to run the belts under, so I didn't have to buy any type of hinges or attachments for the belts. The only thing I had to purchase was the paint to paint the shield, which ran me about $15. Now, to cut the shield out and trim out the lines, I did have to get a little inventive. So I made a jig just out of a piece of wood used for my Dremel and using the depth guide to be able to mount it, which allowed me to cut perfect circles and perfect lines out to make this shield. Now, this was a pretty easy jig to make. I just had to cut out a strip and drill the holes where I needed them to. As you can see, I'm at 4 1/4 for to make the big center circle, a 7-inch, a 10-inch, and then a 12 3/4. The 12 3/4 is because I was using a piece of scrap, and that's what would fit on my sheet. Using the sintra turned out pretty nice, guys. It gave me a really nice finish on the front, and I was able to do a little bit on the back and give everything a nice look. Alright guys, check out the video. Let me know what you think. The main tool I used on this was a Dremel with a removable depth guide. To start, I removed the guide and placed it onto the end, a thin strip of 1/4-inch plywood that I had cut out. Then through the holes on the side, I marked the inside and outside edges onto the wood. Next, holes were drilled on the outside edge of each mark, large enough to run zip ties through. Then the guide was lined up in place and the center marked. Then a hole was drilled out large enough for the cutting bits to fit through. Once the holes were drilled out and cleaned up, zip ties were ran through the outside holes. The guide was laid in place on the board, and the zip ties tightened down to hold it in place. Then the ends of the zip ties were cut off. With the guide mounted, I installed the bit into my Dremel, then screwed the Dremel into the guide. Since the shield is being made out of a scrap piece of sintra, and it had some odd cuts already made on it, I traced the circle to make sure I could make a large enough shield, and then I marked the center. Next, I lined up my jig and made a mark for the radius to cut the outside edge. A hole was drilled in the jig and in the center of the shield. Then a screw was used to hold the center point of the jig in place. A plunge cut was made to start the cut, then press slightly against the Dremel to make the outside cut. Since this was a makeshift jig and the Dremel only held in place with zip ties, I took my time and made sure not to apply too much force so that the guide didn't get moved out of place. I worked my way around the outside edge and was able to cut a perfect circle. Once the cut was made, I removed the jig and the extra material. Then I changed the Dremel bit to one that comes to a point, then set the depth to half the thickness of the sintra. Then made marks for the ring starting at the center of the bit. I measured out 4 1/4 inches from the bit, then 2 3/4 for the next 2 lines. Then the holes were drilled out. The jig was remounted and the lines cut for each circle. Next, I made a star template out of paper, lined up the center, and traced it out. I removed the router from the jig and reset the depth of the bit. I used a yardstick as a fence and pressed the guard against it to help me cut straight lines. I took my time here lining up the point of the bit with the lines on the star. A satellite dish and a heat gun were used to curve the shield. I started by heating the top of the shield and then flipped it over and continued to heat the back side. This ended up being a two-person job. I had my son keep heat on the shield while I applied pressure to form it. This turned out to be a little bit of a fight, but we were able to pull it off. And once the shield was cool, it held its shape. Next, I made a template for braces that would hold the straps. They were traced onto sintra and cut out using a bandsaw. Once the pieces were cut out, they were heated and formed to the curve of the shield. The next step was to make notches for the straps to run through. The notches were then measured and marked off, and holes drilled on each end of the marks. Once all the holes were drilled, a scroll saw was used to cut out each section. Next, I took two of the sections that I cut out and taped them together. Then heated the center between the two cutouts, placed the taped sections under the center area, and pressed the brace down. This stretched and raised the center bar, and then allowed the cool to hold its shape. Next, the braces were laid in place on back of the shield and traced out. I used sandpaper to rough up the marked area and the bottom side of the brace, so the glue would stick better. Then I applied contact cement to the marked area and the bottom of the brace. The glue was allowed to set up and the pieces pressed in place. Then I used a weight and some clamps to hold the pieces together tightly, and then I allowed the glue to set up for 24 hours. Then I applied painter's caulk around the edges of the braces to clean them up and make them look a little better. In one spot on front of the shield, I got it too hot and damaged it. I sanded the area and then I applied a thin coat of Bondo spot putty. It was allowed to dry and then the area sanded smooth. The Bondo was also used to fill the hole that I made in the center of the shield. Next, the shield was prepped for paint and given 2 coats of primer front and back. Once the primer was dry, it was given 2 coats of silver paint front and back. The silver is allowed to dry for 24 hours and then taped off for the red and blue colors. First, the blue was painted and taped off, then 2 coats on the red to finish off the main colors. Once the paint was dry, all the tape was removed. To finish the base paint, 2 coats of clear were applied to the top. Then to finish off the paint job, I broke out the airbrush to add a little detail. For the straps, I used a couple of belts that had came with some shorts that I had purchased. I started with the hand grip and ran the belt through the notches. I adjusted it to the length I would need and then cut off the extra. Then I ran the side of the strap with the buckle for the forearm. Once everything was adjusted, I used hot glue to hold the straps together. Alright guys, there you go, the Captain America shield made from Sintra. Really happy with this. Would actually recommend actually making one out of this. Number one, it's really light. if you've been watching my channel, one of my first builds was a Captain America shield that was actually made from a satellite dish and is made from steel. Now, the one thing about this is it's got a little bit of weight to it, so when I have ran around with it in costume, after a while the shield gets heavy, and when people come up and say, "Can I hold that?" I go, "For sure." You know, just after a while your arm drops. It's actually got a little bit of weight to it. The one made of sintra is less than half the weight of that shield, so much easier to walk around with. And other than that, to use it when I want to shoot some video and stuff, this would be a lot better to actually throw if you need a throw scene, because you could actually throw it like a frisbee and have somebody on the other end actually catch this if you wanted to. Now, did get a little carried away with the airbrush. I actually preferred the nice clean look before I got a hold of it and started painting on it with the airbrush. So I'm most likely going to go back and repaint this and not airbrush it all, just leave it nice and clean. A couple of tips if you want to try something like this was a scrap build, so I used what I had on hand. So the first thing I would do is get something better than a satellite dish to mold it in or to form it in, because the one I had was not perfectly round, so the shield didn't turn out perfectly round. There's a little warpage that matches the dish itself, so that's the first thing I would do. But like I said, this being a scrap build, I used what I had on hand. As far as heating it, I would most likely do 2 heat guns next time. So since this is such a large area, to have it heated across the whole thing evenly, I think 2 heat guns would have definitely helped with that. So most likely I plan on actually making at least one more shield. I want to make one out of just EVA foam to get something really super light. I'm planning on trying some of the same techniques that I used on this shield and see how it turns out. I'll definitely be filming that for you guys, you know, and let you know how that turns out once I get around to it. But for now, I got a load of other projects that I'm trying to get out to you. It's been a busy month this month. I thought I'd have at least one more out this in December, but turns out December's quite busy. So after the first year, I'm going to really try and get on these and knock out a few of them and get them out to you guys. Well, that's it for this video. God bless. I'll see you on the next one.